The AFC is loaded, and so it does feel like a matter of keeping up with the Joneses. And as free agency begins next week, it hasn't even started yet.
Nope.
Should we be expecting some of these other AFC teams to be making quarterback moves?
I think they need to. Because like you said, this is before this week, even at the Pro Bowl, players were talking about how the AFC is loaded with young, talented quarterbacks. And guess what? Now we have Russell Wilson in the AFC. This is a division, this is a conference that if you are not set at quarterback, forget it. Just forget it. Because you're not winning your division, you're not going to the playoffs because there's so many good quarterbacks here.
We talked about the Colts earlier. I want to bring up the Steelers as well. They're another team.
Yeah.
I had tried to put Russell Wilson there over the course of the last few weeks.
Me too.
And we didn't get it done. Should we be expecting a big move from Pittsburgh?
So the interesting thing about the Steelers is when I was at the scouting combine, I talked to people about them. And the one word that came up when I asked about the Steelers was cheap. They're a team that's not, people told me they're a team that's not going to go crazy, going to give up a lot of draft picks, especially with their current GM, Kevin Colbert, on the way out. He wouldn't want to leave the organization in a situation where next year they don't have high draft picks. And they're not a team that's going to go out and spend a lot of money. I hear that. However, I spent a lot of time in the AFC North, and I just watched the Bengals go to the Super Bowl, been in Cleveland. Don't expect Baker to play as bad as he did last year because of the injury. The Ravens are not going to be down. This is a conference where there are so many quarterbacks. If the Steelers come out with Mason Rudolph, it ain't it.
Yeah, let me tell you what they're not going to do. Start the season with Mason Rudolph as QB1. That's not going to happen. But I think the Steelers are going to look at the NFL draft as an opportunity to add a quarterback. Malik Willis is a name that keeps coming up. He's projected in Todd McShay's latest mock draft to go to the Steelers with the 20th overall pick. Everybody keeps raving about the arm talent. Our very own Dan Orlovsky tweeted out this morning, if Malik Willis was 6'5", we'd be talking about him being a top 5 pick.
Right.
I mean, everybody was wowed by that. But this is an organization that has had success with a quarterback on a rookie deal. Ben Roethlisberger won the Super Bowl in his second year.
I hear you. But Malik Willis is going to be a rookie next year, and so is Kenny Pickett, who's the kid from Pitt, who's the other one who's projected to go in the first round. Can this team go into next year with a rookie quarterback going up against all this murderer's row of quarterbacks?
Well, what's your alternative? If you're going to go the route of Jimmy G, he all of a sudden is the third best quarterback in the division behind Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, and it's going to cost you significant draft capital in order to get him because teams recognize how desperate those squads are. So I don't know if that's necessarily the path that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go down.
D. Wood, what do the Steelers need to do?
Pray. Pray.
Preach and pray.
It's real. Hey, man, what the Steelers messed up, man, is they held on to Big Ben Roethlisberger a little bit too long, man, because right now you're in a situation, you're in a bind at the quarterback position. All these other teams in the AFC got these young guns locked in, ready to go. And here the Pittsburgh Steelers are with Mason Rudolph and Haskins and some second-tier quarterbacks out there and potentially the draft. We don't think of the Pittsburgh Steelers team as a rebuild. They're a reload type of team, but who are they going to pick up?
Can I throw a name at you?
The quarterback position.
D. Wood,
go ahead.
How about Jameis Winston? Would Jameis Winston solve this problem for you? He's going to be expensive, but you don't have to trade anybody to get him. Would Jameis Winston answer this question?
Listen, I like Jameis Winston, but Jameis Winston, he ain't Joe Burrow. Jameis Winston ain't Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Justin Herbert, and he damn sure ain't Patrick Mahomes. So, listen, I don't know. I don't have the answer, Greeny. I really don't. They're in a quarterback conundrum right now.
I get it, but on their list of options is not getting Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. So they got to do the best they can do.
With Ben Roethlisberger on one leg, they did make the playoffs.
Right.
So you get somebody, Jameis, I actually like the fit. And there are people in that building that do like Jameis and are high on him. So I could see that working.
Jameis Winston, when he came out, people were comparing him to Ben Roethlisberger. We've seen that work. Let me take a quick break. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.